question at first so much as a quote. And a tale from the past. It could have been a joke, but I decided it shouldn't be. So, are we all listening?
What?
I do not know who set the course, the latitude I would steer. I do not care how long it took, with how much pain and how much fear. I only know I needed come to stand before you and say, remember me, for I am here. We have 15 minutes left. So yes, I know.
Thank you.
Question is, when you first received Drusilla's roses, what happened? Because I don't know.
James wrote a number of books about Drusilla, and I responded to them because he just really captured Drew's voice, and he's an incredibly talented writer. So basically, I read it, and then I sent you an email saying that I really enjoyed your work.
Okay.
And he's since written a book called Dear Miss Landau that just got published and was reviewed on the BBC, and got the reviewer said it was the best book he's read in 10 years. And he's really a very, very gifted writer, and it's about his journey actually coming from Scotland to meet me, and it's really special.
Myself is Benedict and Much Ado About Nothing. Was I kind of chastised for apologizing a little for taking a wrecking ball of your characters?
I don't know that that he actually made it a formal apology, but it definitely made up. Yeah, you know, there's definitely some West Fred love in there when we were doing it, so it's nice. I think you'll like it because Alexis is amazing.
Thank you. Rates, in a sense. I was just wondering what the most, I guess, rewarding thing, either during or after production, was for you for being a part of Buffy and Angel.
Right on. Good question.
Aside from money.
My favorite moment was talking to this actor who is world famous, and I probably shouldn't even tell you who it is, but a guy that I respect a lot. We were getting driven to a convention. He was explaining to me why Buffy was stupid, because a girl that size could never fight all of the people that she fights on the show. And I got to tell him, dude, I fight the stunt doubles for Buffy who are that size. And they are triple black belts, and they could kill both of us. And being part of a show that back when it was, when it was beginning, to have a young woman that could solve her own problems without the help of other people, and were in fact solving other people's problems, and the fact that at that time that was subversive, and now it's kind of normal, it felt really good to be in the beginning of that, or in one of the things that began. Which thing that I've been on had the best chemistry?
Since you were on the show, I want to out of all of you right now, which couple had the best chemistry?
Oh, me and Juliet Landau. And me and Amy After as well. I was only included in the show because we had a good audition together, because we both came from theater, and we are, I don't know, on my part is probably stupidity, on her part is bravery, but she's fearless. And it's one of those things that clicked really fast, and if it hadn't, I don't know where I'd be right now.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So there was strength in Angel, but it was more just, Andy Hallett.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it was more just like, there were several days where we got in trouble from multiple people because we could not stop laughing at Andy. And David was a bit of a prankster too.
He cleaned up his act though by the time I was on, so I don't know.
He would like be behind camera making faces at you and stuff.
See, I figured Joss would have been a prankster.
Oh, no.
We were known, like Angel was more of a normal TV show because it only went 12 hours a day. That's a short day. But Buffy was known as Buffy the Weekend Slave. And we would go 14, 16, 20 hours a day,
And we'd start early in the week on
Yeah.
Monday and then be nights by the end of the week. So your system was really weird. Like you'd be getting up at the time you'd be going to sleep and yeah.
Yeah, there was anybody that tried to prank was just like, don't do that. You don't. We're very tired right now.
Thank you, guys.
We play those roles like addict, codependent drug addicts.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the things when Joss first, because I never actually auditioned for the role, and one of the first meetings I had with Joss, when we talked about it, he really said he'd had spike injury running around in his head for 10 years, and he definitely said like he wanted the sort of Sid and Nancy dynamic, but then he also gave so many different adjectives of what he wanted, which was one of the things that made this role, and I'm sure that role, so incredible to play, is that, you know, often, especially on television, things are sort of 1 or 2 dimensional, and this was, you know, Drusilla's like 5 million dimensional, you know, sometimes other dimensional. So, you know, that's one of the things that made it fun, but definitely that was a part of it, that we were putting in sort of the junkie aspect, I'd say.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's again, that's why the writing is so good, because you can have that secret as an actor, like, you guys are really Sid and Nancy, you know? But we're not playing that so hard.
I took elements from Sid.
Yeah, but, and I frankly was like, you know what, I'm not Sid, I'm Johnny Rotten, man. But no, also Sid in the fact that you know, heroin addicted, punk rock star. But you don't have to play that so much that any younger person watching the show would be corrupted by that or anything. But it gives a nice flavor and a weirdness to it. But as you know, as an actor on the set, I'm just like, you know, I'm playing a Sex Pistol, baby.
We have time.
Camden could not be more different. He's the nicest guy in the world.
I love the cast. I want to find out about a couple of years ago. I said the movie, the original Buffy, the movie, and I want to find out what between the movie and the TV series for the original movie.
You mean what happened between?
I'm talking about was, you know, the difference between.
Well, what I know is that what Joss told me when I actually was signed on to do it and was at my first wardrobe fitting, I think, he said to me, I said, I haven't seen the movie yet, and he said, don't. And I said, no, I really want to see it. He said, no, the whole reason I'm doing this series is this was my baby, and they did something, but that wasn't what I wanted to do with it, and this is what I really want to do with it. So he really had a very different take on the movie than obviously what he did do with the series.
Luke Perry, you know, all that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it was great.
there was a lot of good actors in that movie, but the direction was toward camp.
More spoofy.
Which
It
is
was
kind of like,
different, yeah.
we know this is dumb, you know, and that's, sometimes camp works, but with Joss, he knew this, and we all found out that the drier you play it, and the more realistic you feel about it, the funnier it gets. So yeah, we weren't allowed to even really talk about the movie. But I mean, like, we got Rutger Hauer was in that film.
Yeah,
I was actually pulling from Rutger Hauer for Spike, you know, from Blade Runner.
Hilary Swank was in it?
Yeah, Hilary Swank.
Ben Affleck.
I know.
It's like the difference between the 60s Batman and the Dark Knight.
Ben Affleck too.
Yeah.
Hi.
Basketball player number 2.
Please. Here's your question.
But
Love to
Pee-wee's
all.
death scene.
I have a question for James and Juliet. True Blood, Vampire Diaries, Twilight. What's your take on how vampires are depicted today?
Every generation has its own.
vampires, you can take them 1,000 different directions. I mean, we were far from Bela Lugosi when we did our version, and I imagine there'll be stuff that comes after Twilight. Like somebody will be asking the Twilight people, in a few years, like, these new weird vampires, they don't work as well as yours, and they'll be like, yeah, you're right, and so we'll say, yeah, ours is the best.
Supernatural being in purgatory this season, this is where all the dead monsters go. Any chance we might see Lenore?
I don't know, I'd like to go back. Those guys are really cute. They can lug me around all they want. I don't know. I would love to go back. It's a great set. And those, like I said, those guys are lovely. Really, really nice. Not just looking. So I would love to go back. It was a really good experience for me.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I just want to say to all of you that I love you all. You guys are all amazing. Especially Juliet Landau, you made my weekend. But this one's specifically for Doug, and it's really more about Hellboy. But I'm trying to tie it in. Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. Yes. As well as Hellboy, you have humans and non-humans working together to try to fight, demon threats. And I remember in the Hellboy comics, they kind of glossed over Hellboy's reasoning for fighting forces from hell. And I was wondering, on your take on Abe Sapien, what was his motivation to work with Hellboy and the organization and all of that?
It's really Guillermo del Toro's take on all of it. He likes to work monsters into stories as with human conditions and human problems and issues to work out. Being that we all have a monster inside of us that needs taming or needs comforting or something. That's why his Hellboy character is this one who wants to fit into society around us. And I think that's why it has such a loyal fan base, much like Buffy did. I think the monsters you're seeing here also had such human issues that people could relate to, and I think it's the relatability that keeps us coming back for more, isn't it? So I think that's our answer. Thank you.